this was a fight when you're talking about a rematch. We looked at it going in. We thought it was going to be a close fight. We actually, if you go to our betting, said, hey, go to the over, which was 4.5, because we thought it was going to go the distance. It did go the distance. It was a lot closer fight than I thought. The commentary, I was listening to Bisping and DC. They were really high on everything that Israel was doing. And in the beginning, the first round was by far the clearest round. Very simple for someone to understand who won that round. Second round, a little bit closer. I know one of the judges gave it to Whittaker. I didn't, but I had Adesanya winning those first 3 rounds. Mm-hmm. But I did have Whittaker coming on in the end. He was landing cleaner, and Adesanya, it was a switch for me, Josh. It seemed to me in the beginning, Whittaker just wasn't throwing enough. He wasn't doing enough. He was waiting, and he was trying to be calm. He was trying to be that guy that he was not in the first one, because in the first fight, it was his anger, his overextending, and all those that led him into trouble. He was trying to get away from that, but he wasn't throwing enough, and that was leading towards Adesanya winning those rounds. But I thought at the end, it switched where Adesanya slowed down what he was doing, and they talked about him hurting his right hand. He said he didn't, but he did slow down his production, and that's what allowed Whittaker to come on in those later rounds. It was a good fight. It was a good fight between two guys that are top-notch, and you can't ask anything more. It's hard to get rid of a very good fighter, and that's why I thought it was going to go the distance, and it did.
When you have the 2 best guys in the division, there's a lot at stake. They understand that pretty much it's just these 2. The rest of them, like Izzy's already
Jerry Cannonier does not want to hear you talk.
He can say what he wants. I thought he had a great performance tonight, but I think he can beat Izzy? I don't know. We're going to have to find out, because I think he'll probably end up being next. But the bottom line is when you have Whittaker and you've got Izzy, the 2 of them to me are the guys that are at the top, and they're going to continue to be at the top. I think Whittaker tonight he fought scared. To me, I felt like he came out and he fought scared. Now, we talked about patience. We talked about fighting composed. We talked about all those things leading up to the fight. Yeah. But he came out, it seemed like he was just fighting a little bit scared. And I don't know, I've had people criticize me based on like, oh, I'm a Whittaker hater. No, I'm actually not. I'm actually think he's a phenomenal fighter. And I actually bet on the fact that I thought he was going to win this fight. Yeah. Didn't come up that way, but he just didn't pull the trigger enough. John, you and I had talked about this. There's a difference between fighting composed, relaxed, all of those things, but you still have to pull the trigger enough to win the fight. And he just didn't do it. And that's really what it came down to. He didn't get started until the 4th round, like you were saying. And I didn't get to see the 5th round, because what happened was where I was watching it, basically the ESPN app went down. Oh. So we didn't get to watch. I didn't get to watch the 5th round, but you were telling me that the 5th round was he won the 5th round. It looks like from the judges' scorecards,
Whittaker won the 5th round.
Yeah, 2 other judges had him winning the 5th round.
I love Mike Beltran. Absolutely wrong. It was Whittaker's round, but that's all right. Wasn't going to change the fight.
Yeah. It just came down to the fact that, when you get to that position, when you realize you've already lost the first 3 rounds, and I'm sure his corners probably told him, like, you're down. You got nothing to lose. You got to go out there and let it all hang out.
Yeah, you're going to lose if you don't do something.
Yeah, it looks like he started throwing in the 4th, and then I didn't get to see the 5th, but by then it's too late. If you don't get after it, you have to sneak one of those rounds in the first 3 rounds that he just wasn't able to.
Yeah, if you were going to tell me before the fight, I said, all right, I'm going to give you I'll give you one thing. 5 takedowns by Robert Whittaker. Whittaker wins the fight.
Yeah.
I would have. And he got 5 takedowns and he didn't win the fight. So, Izzy is his defensive wrestling at times. Sometimes, because Whittaker a couple of times got in deep, and he shucked him off. He sprawled. And you go, damn, physically just very good at, he's obviously got, good strength. He's got long levers and everything, but was able to stop him on all those. And when he didn't, and when he was taken off of his feet immediately, man, you're looking at him posting on that arm, getting himself back up, and everything that he's doing, it's all just been ingrained in him. It's the right thing. He sucks himself towards the fence to use that as a balance point. This is a guy, man, if you don't take him down in the center of the cage, he is a bear to keep down. And when you do take him to the center of the cage, he's willing to take and actually put himself in a bad spot to say, I'm not going to sit here and lay on my back, a la like he kind of did with, Blachowicz when he lost that fight. I think he's in that. That's never going to happen to me again. I'm not going to put myself in that position to where someone can just be on top of me. I'm going to take the chance. I'm going to get back to my feet. And it worked for him against Whittaker.
Yeah, it would be easy for, it would be easy for me to sit here and say, hey, the blueprint had already been laid out by Blachowicz. The thing is that Izzy, I think because of the weight discrepancy, Izzy just looked a lot better on getting up off the bottom in this fight. He was someone that was explosive off the bottom. He fought tooth and nail to get back to his feet. And I think at the end of the day, that was the biggest thing, whereas he didn't settle on the bottom like he did against Blachowicz. But the size does matter. I mean, I don't care what every female tells you, okay? I don't care what they tell you. Size matters, okay? Doesn't matter what every female tells you. Size matters. Anyways, it really just comes down to the fact that I thought he was going to settle in on bottom after he got taken down, maybe once or twice, and was like, okay, accept the position. He never once did that. He continued to fight. He worked out of some crappy positions. He did a good job. I mean, realistically, that's why he's the champ, and that's why he made those adjustments. Now, when I was talking about this fight this week, I had a lot of push towards Whittaker only based on the fact that, like, was Izzy just comfortable?
Yeah.
Was Izzy the guy that really? Is that you? Is that Dave?
That's
or
Dave.
Is that me?
That's Dave.
Dave needs to figure that. Anyways, was Izzy comfortable being the champ? That's the thing that kind of concerned me a little bit. He had ran through the division pretty much. I mean, he's got Cannonier probably still waiting in the, coming up. And Izzy's always wanted to fight Cannonier.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it though, was he comfortable with the fact that he's kind of wiped out the division? Is he done? He went up to 205 to try and get the title there, didn't get it, came back down. Those are the questions I kind of had in my mind. Like, he's kind of done everything he wanted to do in this division. Was he going to come in motivated? And I guess when you're running back through the division, like you're back to the champ that you beat for the title, against Whittaker, are you motivated? And that's always a concern when you're talking about guys that have been there, done that kind of situation. And I thought tonight he proved that he was motivated.
Oh, definitely. Well, I think part of that comes, he just signed a new contract. So he's got a whole lot of reasons to be motivated. But it's an absolute thought process that goes through it. Does he have enough respect for that guy? Since he won the fight actually so impressively and so, I don't want to say easily, but, pretty easy in that first one. He just looked fantastic. He could do nothing wrong. So you get that, I know everything he does. I've been there, done that. I don't have to worry about him. When you do, you got to worry about a good fighter and all those things that could have been that, that little bit that brings you down that skosh. It wasn't there. He was ready for the fight. He knew that he was up against a good fighter, and he put on a good performance. Very technical, very surgeon-like. Again, I thought that he slowed down his offensive output in the later rounds. I don't think that he was tired. I watched him, in the corner. He's sitting there breathing, with his mouth closed. You go, guy's breathing with his mouth closed after that round. He's in good shape and he's doing well. So, just an impressive performance because Whittaker is good.
Yeah,
and he is really good. And this is one of those. He's the guy that he was the champion, but he's. In my opinion, he's better than just about everybody in that division other than the guy that's got the title. So he's going to be there. There's going to be a third one.
100% agree.